They need to be celebrated, and that's how we're approaching it right now. Enjoying the heck out of it.
All right, our next question comes from Myron Metcalf.
Mark, you've obviously had to deal with a lot of things and seen a lot of things in your career. When Bert Smith, the official, went down, I mean, what was that like, and kind of how did you get your team kind of back into the game?
I mean, first of all, I mean, I've heard he's doing okay. I mean, I could use an update. He's a great official, great person. And I mean, I was just shocked and scared for him. And then, but I was able to stick my head in there a little bit and see that he was talking incoherent, and tried to say a quick prayer for him and just wished him the best. And then, just told the guys we needed to keep doing what we were doing prior to that. And I think they did a good job, not only after that pause, but, at halftime to keep it on him and to just to keep that intensity. I thought that was the key to the whole game for us.
All right, our next question comes from Dana O'Neill.
Mark, congratulations, first of all.
Thanks, Dana.
You talked about, this enjoying the accomplishment, and of course you're going to do that. I understand that, but there is obviously an expectation. You guys aren't, what you used to be. There's an idea of what you're supposed to be accomplishing in this tournament with your record and everything else. How do you balance the two, sort of the pressure and the expectations that you want to achieve, but also enjoying that moment?
That's just how we roll. I mean, you know me, that's how I roll. And this is something that needs to be celebrated, and we need to take the time to enjoy the heck out of it, because I think you're just missing the whole point in life if all you're doing is, going to the very end game, and that's the only way you're going to celebrate and feel good about anything. So that's just not how I roll. That's not how Drew Timmy rolls, Corey, Joel, Jalen, the whole group. So, hey, we'll enjoy the heck out of it tonight. Obviously, they'll need some rest tomorrow. We'll just do film and get down to business. It's a shorter week than usual. But again, the fact that we're, savoring this and really seizing the moment, don't misconstrue that for, a lack of desire to keep this thing rolling. I think it's just the proper perspective.
Our next question comes from Brian Hamilton with The Athletic.
Hey, Mark. First sequence of the game, Drew switches on to a small guard, strips him, goes down the other end. I mean, what kind of tone did that set for you guys? And what kind of tone did that set for him the way he played the rest of the night?
You know what? I think that's a great call. Look, he does that a lot, quite frankly. He really kind of enjoys those moments when we go to our switching defense like that, and he moves his feet very well for a bigger kid. And I really think you're right. It set the tone that, hey, we're going to be aggressive, and this thing's going to start with defense, and he was aggressive all night. I think I know some people were worried about how he's going to handle the size in there, but I think our staff and Drew and his teammates knew that he was going to be fine. He's faced many big lineups and shot blockers and such, and he always figures out a way to get to his shot. And it's not the same shot every time. As watching him, it's a different move, different shot each and every time.
All right, our next question comes from John Title.
Hey, Coach. John Title from hoopshd.com. I don't think I've ever seen an undefeated team force a 10-second violation before. So my question was to just come to see if you guys could do it, or to make sure that you can do it if you need it this weekend, or something else?
Are you talking about when we're pressing or something, or what? I mean, we've pressed all year, and that's part of kind of our defensive package. So, yeah, I mean, it's just something that we do. We've had many of those throughout this year, and I think the guys did a good job of, there's varying levels to our presses, and sometimes we heat them up a little bit. Sometimes we back off and just tempo press. And that was one of the instances where we wanted to heat it up.
Next question comes from Isabel Gonzalez with Mid-Major Madness.
Congratulations, Coach. Isabel Gonzalez, Mid-Major Madness. Corey didn't even shoot that well today, but he still picked up 18 points. And of course, you had other guys step up. How much does that say about your team and how dangerous you guys can be?
Well, I mean, that's kind of who we've been all year. We've probably our greatest attribute is our balance, and we have several guys, or even more than several, that can get 20 in an evening. And if one guy's having an off night, or maybe the matchups are better for somebody else, that nobody else has a problem with that. And that's definitely been one of our strengths. I really liked Corey's aggressiveness tonight. I loved how he was going downhill and attacking their bigs. And I thought he did a great job with that. And his threes looked, as usual, dead on. They had a couple popcorn out, but by and large took a bunch of good shots. And I mean, to end up on 18 on, theoretically maybe a somewhat of an off night is pretty damn impressive.
Next question comes from Billy Witz.
Hi, Mark. This is Billy Witz from the New York Times. I know you have bigger things on your mind than this, but I'm just wondering, just with the way the schedule for tonight, this was after this kind of season you guys have had, and this is a 4 o'clock tip off on the West Coast. Were you disappointed at all that you didn't get the later start so more of your fans could kind of
no, trust me, our fans they're not at work. Again, I can tell you, if you think they're working, you don't know the Zag fans. Okay, so everything shut down and everybody was watching, and no, not at all. In fact, heck, I was happy to have the earlier starts, and then I have to wait around and get anxious all day. So no, listen, we don't lack for any more viewership or fans, and they have their priorities in line. They stop work early or stop whatever they're doing and cheer for the Zags.
All right, our next question comes from Jim Meehan.
Hey, Mark. Jim Meehan at the Spokesman Review. That first half in particular, the defense was as high level as you can get, and really this whole tournament. I know they're obviously dialed into the scouting report, but what else do you think has gone on at that end that it's just made a jump?
I mean, I think the respect, the respect, and a little anxiousness about our opponent, whether it's Creighton, who's a terrific offensive team, or USC, who's had a great run. Probably, and again, I haven't seen a stat sheet, but one of the things we want to do, they've been shooting the heck out of it from the 3 line, and we did a great job taking away those, especially in the first half. And I think we continue to do a good job in the second half. So they've just been really, really dialed in to not only the scout, but also just the effort and fight and aggressiveness that's needed. I think they're watching these other games and seeing how physical and how intense they are and responding to that. But I mean, you've been with us every step of this way. I mean, we played pretty darn good defense all year. It's just taken a backseat to our offense because it's been almost historically good, on NCAA standards.
Next question comes from Jeff Ferrudo.
Yeah, Jeff Ferrato with the West Coast Conference. Mark, you guys obviously played a loaded non-conference schedule, and then you get to this tournament and a different season and a different NCAA tournament than we've ever seen. Is there anything that's surprised you, or maybe if not surprised you, what are you most gratified about the way your team has played through these first 4 games?
Yeah, I'm just most gratified we're playing really, really good basketball. We started with Norfolk State and played. We didn't let our guards down there and played very, very good. We got challenged by Oklahoma and played great, especially down the stretch in that one. Played terrific defense against just a dynamic and really talented, especially on the offensive end, Creighton squad. And then to come out and put this together on both ends of the floor against a really red hot team. I mean, gosh, I watched these guys against Kansas and they look like an NBA team or something. So I'm just really proud. I mean, they're in a good place, and we'll continue to build on that. And these steps get harder and harder. The next one's going to be really hard, whether we have UCLA or Michigan, it'll be extremely hard. And you got Baylor, who looks amazing. And you got, Kelvin's team is so darn tough and so dialed in and so resilient. And, it's going to make for just an amazing Final Four.
All right. Thank you, Coach, for your time today.
Yep, you bet.
We will be joined momentarily by Jalen Suggs. Please use this time to raise or lower your hands as necessary. Thank you. All right, we are now joined by Jalen Suggs. Again, please use the raised hand function to indicate you would like to ask a question. And when you are called on for your question, please state your name and affiliation first. Our first question comes from Andre Monroe.
Congratulations on the win, Jalen. I was just wondering, you guys are one of the best offensive teams, of course, you guys know that, but how much has Coach emphasized defense, the importance of defense in this tournament?
A lot, and that's a piece that we've worked on all year continually, and I feel like we've gotten better at it every day. And it's showing now. We started to crack the top 10 and DER in the country late in the season, and, it's just continuing to get better every night, and when we lock in on that end, we can be excellent. So, that's a piece that we've really tried to improve on, and I think that is, helping us a lot in some of these wins that we've gotten the past couple games.
Our next question comes from Zachary Brazilier.
Zach Brazilier, New York Post. Jalen, I think you guys are now the third team since 1976 to get to the Final Four undefeated. Can you just describe what this year has been like and what this accomplishment is like to know you're in such select company?
It's been challenging, but this group of guys here have made it a lot easier, and us being away from family, for a majority of the year and not really getting to see them or have fans at our games, until the last couple games of the regular season. So it's been really challenging, but through it all, I think we've done a great job in staying together, and our team chemistry, and our brotherhood has really helped pass the time and, make it all a lot easier. And just getting to this point is extremely special. We're going to celebrate it, but we got two more, that we need to get done, and we're taking them one game at a time.
Our next question comes from Brenna Green with KREM.
Jalen, hi, Brenna Green from 2 Sports. I hope you can hear me right now with all the commotion here for the other game. How exactly did you finagle that net around your neck? How did you get that?
Coach Phil gave it to me. I thought he was just gonna give it to me for a second. I was gonna put it on the shoulder. So he said, "Nah, you keep it." So I didn't want to carry it, so I kind of just threw it on my neck.
Nice. Our next question comes from Matthew Cianidi.
Jalen, Matthew Shinetti with TSN. Just on Nembhard, what does it mean to you that a guy comes in 2 days before your first game, tries to make himself a part of the team, tries to build a relationship, comes off the bench, and now is starting in the tournament, plays great against Creighton? What's it mean to you to see how he's progressed throughout the year?
From the day Andrew came in, we all embraced him with open arms, and me especially, I was extremely excited to have him. Playing with another guard, who can handle it, and Andrew's one of the best point guards in the nation. I don't think he gets talked about enough. Man, he's good. And I've seen it. I've seen it with my own eyes all year long. So this is no surprise to me. I don't think it's any surprise to anyone in our locker room. Andrew's a great player. He's a great basketball mind, and he's a big piece, in what we got going on right now. So, just to play with other guys that are great like that, it makes me better, and it makes the whole team better. So, yeah.
Jalen, this is John Blanchett from the Spokesman Review. How about attacking the USC zone? Their reputation, both statistically and otherwise, was for being able to stop points in the paint, 2-point percentage. How did you guys attack that zone, and what was so successful?
We just try to stay moving. The more stagnant that we got, the more the ball started to stick, and the easier it was for them to defend us. So I mean, when we were moving, guys were flashing the high post, they didn't get it. They were popping up. We'd have somebody else come in and flash. It was just a lot for them to deal with. We were getting really open floaters, good cuts on the baseline. Vertical cuts off the wings. So again, we're really moving in unison. Drew did a great job ducking in. Evan on a lot of those that kind of took the shot blocker out of the way, so we could have easy lanes. And man, I don't know, we're working together all night, not letting the ball get too sticky. And yeah, we really did a good job, I think, especially in the first half, in breaking that zone down.
Oh, hey, Jalen. Astro Ali here with the Gonzaga Bulletin. I know you just talked about how you guys kind of manipulated their zone a little bit, but you putting up a stat line like you did tonight where you almost had a triple-double, what did you personally see in the zone? How were you able to work within that on the offensive side and still get your teammates involved? Because everybody on your team really had a fingerprint in today's win. It wasn't just you, like a single effort by you or Drew. It was a lot of people involved. So how do you kind of get that stat line? And I know you're not concerned about it, but how did you manage to pull off those numbers and still get the team going?
Just trying to play basketball, just trying to make the simple right play, and the guys ended up finishing, a lot of the threes and cuts and layups and things like that, to help me get that. You can't have, assist numbers like that or really open looks that I got, a lot of the game, without the rest of the guys on the court. So again, like I said, just moving and playing together, not letting the ball get too sticky, everybody moving around, and whoever gets the assist, whoever gets the bucket, and then we get back, get a defensive stop and come do it again. So yeah.
Hey, Jay. I don't know if you can hear me. You can hear me?
Yeah.
This is Jeremy Wilson, Sports Illustrated. I know the job's not done here. You guys have 2 more games to win. But just kind of as you reflect, obviously you guys have had a lot of time on your hands. As you reflect on your own decision, to come to Gonzaga, kind of break convention for, a really, highly rated guy like you, what stands out to you, about that choice? And was this what you imagined?
Yeah, I mean, coming here, I knew that we were going to win. Gonzaga historically, has always won and done a great job of that, and got to the tournament, and it's been a great team in the tournament. So that was one of the main things. But also, again, I always talk about it's the family piece. I didn't want to come be another piece of the puzzle, just so they could use me, for these 6-7 months, get wins, and kind of ship me off to the next part of my journey. So from the day that these guys started recruiting me, they were straight, they were upfront, and they treated me like I was one of their own, honestly, like I was part of their family from day one, and I saw Gino come in and he told me how much he loved it. I saw how much fun he was having, and how much he grew as a player, after coming here. He was already great, but I think that over the years, the coaching staff has done a great job in developing their guys and getting them better. And that's exactly what they've done with me. So looking back on it, this is the best decision I've ever made. I miss football every day, but I couldn't see myself anywhere but here right now.
All right, our next question comes from Lainey Higgins.
Hey there, Jalen. This is Lane Higgins from the Wall Street Journal. And I wanted to ask if you watched the women's game last night between UConn and Baylor, and if you had texted Paige a little bit and you were wondering if, her exploding on the court motivated you at all tonight.
Oh, of course. I was extremely nervous all game. I was pacing back and forth. I couldn't sit down. But yeah, I had it on, and then, I texted her after, and then we FaceTime and talked for a little bit. And last night, she said some things that really helped me because, I've been kind of struggling, trying to get my footing, in these tournament games, and of course seeing her go out there and play great, like she did, and then talking afterwards, she kind of said some words, it kind of got me uplifted to get me going. Definitely helped tonight. But yeah, that was a great game last night. She's the GOAT for a reason. So yeah, I was definitely tuned into it.
Our next question comes from Christopher Heidel.
Hey, Chris Heidel from Herbert from Radio in Baltimore. What was it like, you guys being undefeated and being part of history with, I think you were part with Indiana and Kentucky and all that. What was it like being part of that? And I know you guys have 2 games left. So I guess that's what's exciting.
I mean, it's great. You know, it's hard not to think about. You know, we try our best to kind of keep our minds on it, off of it, and stay focused. You know, on the task at hand. But I mean, it's a great accomplishment. You know, to be mentioned with those teams because they're amazing. But again, we just come in every day to play to the Gonzaga standard. You know, and for each other. And I mean, this is the result that we get from that. So you know, we're not chasing anybody or anything. We're just coming in trying to get better every day and have fun with each other out here on the court.
All right, and our final question will come from Brian Hamilton of The Athletic.
Hey, Jalen, how much of a tone does Drew Timme set for you guys when he's performing at both ends like he did tonight?
Oh man, he gets us all going. You know, he gets us all fired up. He is that's my best impression of the mustache celebration, and you know, we all feed off of it. You know, we all run with him. I mean, he was dominant today, especially early. Man, he came out and set the tone. You know, attacking Evan on the inside and on the defensive end, man, with the steal to start the game off. Like, what? Drew with a pickpocket. So, he was great tonight. He was spectacular, like always. And man, his impact is massive. You know, we all feed off of one another, and that's what gets us going every night.
Awesome. Thank you for your time, Jalen.
Thank you. Stop it. You stop it.
That's it for tonight. A full transcript will be provided by